Hey guys, we are on pages 21 and 22, and so this is just kind of a nice little review of all three forms that we learned how to graph this in this unit, and basically how to do it and how to find all of the various information. So again, we're just graphing lines, but based off the different form, we could do it in different ways. Okay, so it's the first thing it says is to describe in the table how you would graph given an equation in this each form. Okay, so the first one is slope-intercept form, which we usually feel the most comfortable with. So the steps to graph this, first we would plot the y-intercept, okay, which would be 0, comma, whatever your b value is. So this value right here. Okay, then we would plot additional points using your slope, which is your m value. So we would find the rise to the run and create more points. Okay. If it was in point slope form, there's two different ways you could do it. You could solve for y, okay, because then it would be y equals mx plus b. And then you could solve it, you could graph it the way you would want to in slope-intercept form, okay? The way to graph it a little bit easier if it's already in point slope form would be to plot the point that's given to you. So in this case, it would be your x1, y1 coordinate. Then after you have plotted that point, it wouldn't be the y-intercept, it'd just be another point. Then you would plot additional points, use your slope to plot more points. Okay. So that is point slope form. And then the last one is standard form, which was the newest one. Okay, so you could solve for y if you would like, okay, because then it would be in slope-intercept form. And you could graph it just like in slope-intercept form. But a way you could do it would be by calculating your x-intercept and your y-intercept. Okay, so an x-intercept is when, is when y equals 0. So you would plug in 0 in for your y value. This would create a 0, and you would take c, divide by a, and you would get your x-intercept, and then you could plot that. Okay. Then additionally, you could find your y-intercept. Okay. That would be when you have no x value. So you would plug in 0 in for x. So create a 0. You would take your c value divided by your b value, and whatever value you get would be your y-intercept, and you could plot those 2 points, connect those 2 points with a line, and that would create your line. Okay. Apply your knowledge of linear equations to answer the questions and to create a graph of each given equation or description in 1 through 5. Questions can be answered in any order, so choose the order that makes the most sense based on the given information. Okay, so I want you guys to pause each of these, and I want you guys just to try them yourselves, because we are doing this in class, and so if you were in class, you would be doing the same exact thing. Okay, so this equation, y equals 1/4 x minus 3. What is the slope? What is the y-intercept? What is the 0 or the x-intercept? And then will 18, comma 1.5 lie on this line? So hit pause, get as far as you can, and then whenever you're done, we will go over them. Okay, so this equation right here, we could just graph it. We could plot the y-intercept, which is -3. Ooh, y-intercept, 0, comma -3. Okay. Then we could plot additional points by using the slope 1/4. 1/4. Go backwards and go down and left, down and left. Okay. I'm not going to create a line just because it's kind of hard on my little tablet, but we used the slope 1/4. Okay, what is the 0 or the x-intercept? Okay, so we could just keep going and see. It looks like it's probably 12, probably. Okay, But I'm going to find out mathematically. So it says, what is the x-intercept? So that's asking me, when does y equal 0? So I'm going to plug that into my equation. Okay. So then in this case, we're actually going to have to solve an equation. So we're going to add 3. Then you can divide by a fourth or multiply by the reciprocal, however you learned how to do it. 3 divided by a fourth is 12. Okay, so you could use your graph and figure out that it was 12. You could also mathematically, x-intercept was y is 0, so then we could just solve for x, but the x-intercept is 12, 0. Okay. Lastly, will 18, 1.5 lie on the line? Okay, so it's asking, would 18, 1.5 lie on the line? I'm going to probably, my gut instinct is no, because this is 12, which is 0. So it's probably going to go up more than that. But we want to have more mathematical reasoning besides just we think so. So we are going to plug in these values. I'm going to plug in x equals 18 and see what my output is. Okay, so I'm going to do y equals 1/4 x minus 3. So I'm going to plug in 18 and then subtract 3. So 1/4 times 18 is 4.5. 4.5 minus 3 is 1.5. So my gut instinct was wrong. Yes, this would lie on the line because when I put in my input, I got the output of 1.5. So very cool. All right, go ahead and try the next problem. See if you can graph it, see if you can answer these questions, and then hit unpause and we will go over the answers. Okay. So for this problem, we could just graph it by plotting the point. So this point would be, the x-coordinate would be 4, the y-coordinate would be -10, because again, with point slope, you have to kind of flip the sign. Okay, so first I'm going to plot for -10. Okay. And then my slope is -5. So I would go down 5, right 1. Can't really do that, so I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go up 5, left 1, up 5, left 1, and I'm going to do that all the way up here. Again, I'm not going to graph them just because it's kind of hard on my tablet. Okay. What is the slope? Well, we already knew what the m value was. It's -5, so that was easy, or a -5 to 1 ratio. What is the y-intercept? You could do this many ways. You could use your graph to see that it crosses at 10. Okay. You could also solve this equation out and see, put it into slope-intercept form. You would basically distribute the -5, -5x plus 20, and then move the 10 over. Okay. You could also see that it was negative, or at +10, excuse me. You could also find a y-intercept by saying when x is 0. And that's another way. Okay, so you would plug in 0 right here. You would have y plus 10 equaling -5, 0 minus 4. Then 0 minus 4 is -4. This would be 20. Take away the 10. Take away the 10. There's 3 different ways you guys can find the y-intercept. Okay? For the x-intercept, if you graphed it first, you could see that the x-intercept is 2. So this would be 2, 0. Okay? Mathematically, you could also plug in x-intercept is when y equals 0. Okay? So you can plug in 0 plus 10 equaling -5 parentheses x minus 4. 0 plus 10 is 10. Solve it. divide by -5, and you get 2. Okay, so there's 2 different ways you guys could figure out that the x-intercept is 2. Okay? And then lastly, will -422 lie on the line? This one doesn't really have a graph to see if it would. So I'm just going to plug in x equals -4 and see what I get. Okay, so y plus 10 equaling -5. I'm plugging in -4, see what I get left over. I'm going to do order of operations, so I'm going to do -4 minus 4 and get -8. -5 times -8 is +40. Then if I take away that 10, I get y equals 30. So it looks like the answer is no. It would pass -430, not -422. Okay. All right, next problem. Go ahead and pause and solve however you guys would like to solve it, and then hit unpause and we will go over the answers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and graph this first, and I'm going to do it by intercepts. So first I'm going to find the x-intercept. So that's when a 0. So that's when y equals 0. So 6x plus 9, y equals 0. This would make a 0. 6x equals -27. So then -27 divided by 6 is -4.5. So as an ordered pair, that would be -4.5, comma 0. So -4, probably about right there. Okay. Then I'm going to find the y-intercept. So that's when x equals 0. Okay. I'm going to plug that in. I get 6 times 0 plus 9. Y equals -27. Again, this would make a big 0. I could divide by 9 and get y equaling -3. So as an ordered pair, that would be 0, comma, -3, which would be right here. Okay. All right. Again, what you could also do is to solve this for slope-intercept form, and it would also tell you your y-intercept. It would also tell you your slope. So I'm going to also show you guys that. You could subtract the 6x, get 9y equaling -6x minus 27. Divide by the 9, divide by the 9. Y equals negative, so 6 over 9 is equivalent to 2/3, so -2/3. -27 divided by 9 is -3. Okay. This is important because when it asks what the slope is, if you did solve it, it is very easy to find the slope. Okay. If you don't have that and you would want to find the slope from the 2 points, you would again just find the rise over the run, or you would find the slope from like using the slope formula. So this would be, this is the y-intercept, this is the x-intercept. Okay. The change in the y's, this is going up 3, this is going down 4.5. And then if you type that into your calculator, 3 divided by -4.5, and then hit math, fraction, enter, you get -2/3. So you could also just use the points from the intercepts. All right. And the last one, will 1, comma, -4 lie on this line? So I'm going to plug in 1 and see if I get -4 out for my y value. Okay, so 6x, 6 times 1 plus 9y equals -27. So 6 times 1 is 6. Okay, I'm going to take away the 6. 9y equals -33. So I can already tell it is not going to be -4 because that is not a whole number. So no. 1, comma, looks like it's like -. 3 2/3 is what would be on the line. Okay, last one. Oh, there's 2 more, sorry. Next one, go ahead and try it out, and then whenever you are done, hit unpause. Okay, this one, a line with a slope of 3 that passes through -2, 6. So to graph this, we could plot the point -2, 6. We could then use the slope 3 to 1. And go backwards to kind of get that full picture of the slope and the line. Okay. What is the y-intercept? What is the x-intercept? What is the equation in point-slope form? And then what is the equation in slope-intercept form? So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in point-slope form since that's one of the questions. So y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. So that's y minus 6 equals 3 times x plus 2. Okay. Now it's asking us what the y-intercept and x-intercept is. I can see the x-intercept. I'm going to go ahead and put in slope-intercept first. So I'm first going to distribute. 3 times x plus 2 would become 3x plus 6. And then I'm going to add 6. And I get y equals 3x plus 12. Okay. All right, so what is the y-intercept? Looks like it is 12. I can see that from the graph. I can also see it in slope-intercept form. Okay. What is the x-intercept? Okay. From the graph, I can see that it is -4. Sorry, my dog is barking. Mathematically, we could say, when does y equal 0? So 0 equals 3x plus 12, and then we could solve it. So we would take out the 12 and divide by 3, and we would again get -4. Okay, so multiple ways to do the same problem. All right, last problem. Go ahead and try this out, and then whenever you guys are done, go ahead and hit unpause. All right, so it has a line that passes through -8, 0, and 0, -4. It asks, what is the slope? What is the equation in point slope, slope-intercept form, and in standard form? So this is a good one. So I'm going to plot -8, 0, and 0, -4. Okay. From these 2 points, I can find the slope. So I'm going to find the slope. You could do rise to run. You could find the change between them or use the slope formula, okay? So it looks like it's going down 4 and right 8, okay? So no matter how you do it, you should get a slope of -1/2, okay? In point slope form, you can pick either of these points, okay? Both of them will get you the right answer. I'm going to use this one because it kind of already looks like a y-intercept, which is cool. So I'm going to do y minus y1 equaling my slope times x minus x1. So I have y plus 4 equals -1/2 x plus 0. If you did do the other one, it would be y minus 0 equals -1/2 x plus 8. Okay, both will get you the same thing. Okay, in slope-intercept form, we could solve for either of these, and however you solve it, you should get y equals -1/2 x minus 4. Okay. Then the last one is, how do you put this into standard form, which was the very last thing that we talked about in this unit. So I'm going to use slope-intercept form because we did all that work. Okay. I'm going to, again, you could move the x first, okay, because we want it to be ax plus by equaling c, okay? Or you can get rid of the fraction first, whichever you prefer, okay? I'm going to get rid of the fraction first, so I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So y times 2 is 2y, -1/2 x times 2 would be -1x, and then -4 times 2 is -8. Now I'm going to move this -1x over, and I have 1x plus 2y equaling -8. Okay, this is in standard form because these are all integers, and my a value is a positive value. Okay, so for today, guys, there is going to be a find it, fix it. You will also have time tomorrow to work on it, so please don't spend a lot of time on it. You will have time tomorrow to do it as well.